Hello, Froggy here, and today I'll be showing you a super quick way to get a second exotic from Dual Destiny. Duel's in its name after all, it only makes sense. I finally ran the mission myself and then watched Rythm's video on how to get double class items, and I noticed there was some room for improvement. So we're going to start off in pretty much the same way. You're going to want to change characters one at a time and rejoin. And as you do so, you're going to want to switch over to Salvation Script. It's okay if only one of you has it, but probably a bit more straightforward if both do. So we're going to have a bit of a departure from what Rythm did here. In his guide, you both went at the same time, but here, we're going to be taking turns, and you'll see why in a minute. Elite's helping me out on the other end. Naturally, you need to both be on the same class to be able to pick up both class items. So from here on in, it's all about spawn point manipulation. So I'm just gonna wait a moment here for Elite to get back, because I'm not sure if you can join once you go further. I don't really know, but anyways, as you go forwards, you want to not stay on the ground for any longer than it takes to jump again. You want to avoid setting spawn points so that the next part is easier. You can still do it if you don't, it's just going to be a bad time. If you do land on the ground, you don't have to worry too much, because you won't set another spawn point until you move at least 9 meters away, so you can relax there. Anyways, I'm gonna select piece, more of a player versus map player myself. They make it look like you can only grab one class item, but we know better than that.
Well, look at you, trusting your own instincts, thinking for yourselves. I'm so proud. You and we're not interested in playing other people's games. Now Ziva Arad. Oh, my sister has always played by the rules. And where did that get her? Nowhere good. There's no power in blindly following the whims of capricious, self-titled gods. Except yourself.
Go ahead and collect your class item at the same time. Then you should both get it from one. But we're going to have to do a little bit of work to get the next one. No. So you can block your spawn points by firing a shot at your feet. I didn't actually position it right there, so I'm gonna have to do that again. I'm jumping off for this first one, but in general, that is not what you're going to want to do, because we're going to be using an IRB. You can use an extra shot to die. You want to make sure that you're dying above regular ground that you could drop your ghost on. Once again, we're going to be doing this one at a time. Elite is jumping the gun a little bit, but so long as he's still in this area, it's fine. And now we're back at the beginning. Gonna want to head back and touch the previous load. And then we're just gonna turn around. Here's where the real difference begins. Instead of going back to where Elite is, I'm just going to appear there. This route is pretty straightforward. You can do it on any class. I'm not even using a sword or anything fancy. You just want to jump to the backside of the load, walk against this wall, and if it goes according to plan, your ghost will show up here. Don't respawn, you need your ally to respawn you. And we're now able to grab the class item. But remember, we chose peace, so let's help our ally get it as well. So, let's say you don't have Salvation Script. Someone else can stand where your ghost is if you die where you spawn, And that will send you back to your previous spawn points. As you can see over here, I am blocking Elite's spawn, and he's going back to his previous one. And for the last one, he's dying just there. So if you're not familiar with the interdimensional res breach, or IRB, it allows you to move your ghost to where you last died if you die to a load. You can see once Elite completes the route, his ghost is right here. You want to know how he did that so fast? Editing. Anyways, another count off, collect the mark at the same time, and you've got your second class item. And it only took, what, a minute, 2 minutes, something like that. So it's not too bad. But yeah, it should be a easy way to double your rewards. Let's see what I got. I don't actually know what roles I'm looking for, but that certainly is 2 of them. And don't forget to leave a tip. Unfortunately, this only gets you 1 commendation, although it's still 2 if you count both of them. But that's just silly. Anyways, just to show how easy it is to do on other classes, I'm just going to run through them real quick. I'm a pretty big fan of this mission. I think the areas are gorgeous and the gameplay is pretty fun. I hope they do more stuff like this in the future. Savathun's lines also really speak to me. With the sort of shenanigans I get up to, I am very often playing my own game here. And I'm not often doing that on Warlock, so pardon my failures to jump. But yeah, I'm generally just going out of bounds, seeing where we can get to. Turns out you can get to most places if you try. And sometimes, every once in a while, it can even be useful. In the past, I've used IRBs to go fetch ammo and then get back to where I was rapidly. They could be quite handy for more things than just breaking the box. And you can see my ghost is back out here. Thanks to NA Painter, who helped out on my initial test run of this, where I verified that it did in fact work. Anyways, on to Hunter. An important thing to note about this is because this is based on where your last death point is, you're going to want to make sure that you do not die. Dying to a load zone is a bit different. I often refer to that as a fizzle sort of death. It doesn't act like a regular death in a couple of important and sometimes strange ways. But I'll take the opportunity here to show you what to do if you do not hit the death to load. You can just try it again. It drops you off pretty much where you respawned anyway, so there's barely any difference in the route. You can try this as many times as you want to, but if you die along the route, you're going to have to do the full out-of-map sort of route that you would see in Rythm's video. I'll link that video in the description. If you've not checked out Rythm's channel, he does a lot of really cool Sparrow shenanigans. So if you want to see that sort of stuff, I would check him out. Oh, up. Ah, that was a close one. Anyways, here I haven't actually died yet. So instead of my ghost showing up, it just spawns me automatically. And that's because I'm in patrol. If you want to see how to get here on patrol, you can check out Gerbsnail's video, although I'll probably make one myself at some point. Anyways, happy exploring.